Ang tanong ko lamang po at tanong ng mga kababayan natin, napapansin po kasi nila na isa-isa ng mga opisyal, dating opisyal sa DPWH, maging ang ilang mambabatas, ay tumatakbo po sa ibang bansa. How do we stop this flight, Mr. Chair? Kasi baka darating po ang araw, wala na po tayong maimbestigahan, wala na po mapapanagot dahil lahat po sila ay nasa ibayong dagat na. Paano po yun, Mr. Chair? Do we have any plans? Do we have any actions para... I know, Mr. Chair, hindi natin pwedeng pigilan po yan dahil yan po ay karapatan naman nila. Pero dahil may investigasyon po nangyayari, ito po yung accountability, Mr. Chair.
You may address your question to the DOJ representative. I think the Prosecutor General, Richard Padulyon, is here. Kindly
Thank you, Mr.
respond.
Chair. Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I believe that while we want all of these personalities who are involved or mentioned in the investigations to just stay in the country during the course of the investigations, we cannot at this time, Mr. Chair, prevent them from traveling because what we can only issue as far as the Department of Justice is a lookout bulletin. A lookout bulletin operates only to check on the records of the passenger who would want to leave, but it would not prevent them from being able to leave the country. There is no legal impediment for them to leave because it would be violative of their constitutional right. However, if I may be bold enough to suggest, Mr. Chair, in answer to the question of the good senator, yes, there are investigations which are being undertaken at this time. And while I understand that cancellation of passports can only be done if, for example, there are cases which are already filed, and this can only be done through the courts, I believe that representations can probably be made by the investigating bodies with the executive branch, that would be the Department of Foreign Affairs, to possibly hold or possibly cancel passports of those who are undertaking or undergoing investigations, Mr. Chair.
Linawin ko lang, Mr. Chair, parang pwede lang yatang kanselahin ang mga passports ng mga ito kapag sila po'y nakasuhan na. Pero what I'm talking about, yung hindi pa po nakakasuhan. Kasi it is not enough yung lookout bulletin. Wala naman hong saysay yun eh. Kahit na nandoon siya sa lookout bulletin, pwede niya sabihin, wala pa naman ho akong kaso. The only way to stop that person is kung may hold departure order, which we know kung may kaso na. So, ano hong pwede bukod dyan na sinasabi sa lookout bulletin? Are you suggesting na the DFA kanselahin ang passport? But can we do that? Wala pa naman po silang kaso and it will violate their constitutional rights.
I understand, Mr. Chair, if I may, sir, answer the question. I agree with you totally that there is no basis to cancel the passports up until the time that there are cases which are filed as against them and there are representations or there's an order issued by the court allowing for the cancellation. But the question earlier was with respect to what can be done at this time while there are no cases which have been filed. The only solution that I can find for this particular predicament, Mr. Chair, is for us to fast-track the filing of the cases or for cases to be fast-tracked so far as investigations are concerned before the Office of the Secretary of Justice and before the Office of the Ombudsman. And then, and only then, once these cases are filed in court and warrants are issued, can we move for the cancellation of the passports. In the meantime, the suggestion that I made earlier was just a suggestion, Mr. Chair, if only to address the concern of what can be done in the meantime when there are no cases yet which are filed in court.
Kailan po kayo magpa-file ng mga kaso? Kailan po natin makikita na ang DOJ ay magsasampa na po ng kaso?
Cases are already being investigated right now, Mr. Chair. There are 5 cases for flood control projects, ghost projects, which are undergoing preliminary investigation at the moment. There are several cases also which are undergoing evaluation by the Department of Justice. I believe there are also cases which are also pending before the Office of the Ombudsman, Mr. Chair. We expect to terminate the preliminary investigation of the first 5 cases probably within the first week of December or by the middle of December, sir.
To know kung ito po mga cases that will be filed by the DOJ ay mga officials lang po ito ng DPWH, former officials and contractors. Meron po bang kasamang mga politiko na rito?
As of as of this time, Mr. Chair, as far as the first 5 cases which are undergoing investigation, it involves only officials of the DPWH, particularly those in District 1 in Bulacan, sir.
All right. My next question is, Mr. Chair, alam ko sinusundan nyo rin po. At ano na ho nangyari? I don't know if you can answer this, Attorney Fadulion, kayo po sa DOJ. Nasaan na po yung ating witness na si Ginoong Guteza? Because yung kanya pong testimony ay napakalaki po. Lahat po tayo nagimbal dito. So we want to find out, is he okay? Where is he at? Is he still alive? Is he dead? Ano ho nangyari?
Mr. Chair, Department of Justice would not be in any position to ascertain the whereabouts of Mr. Gutesa. As far as we know, he did testify here in the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, but the Department of Justice never had any interaction with him after that particular testimony. There was no representation made as to his interest in being covered by the program or being granted any protection. And we know for a fact that the intervention by the Witness Protection Program is something which is done voluntarily by the one who is making the application. Inasmuch as there was no application made, we have not had, since the time of his testimony here before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, any interaction with Mr. Gutesa. So we would not be in a position to say where he is right now or what his condition is, sir.
Mr. Chair, may I ask the Secretariat if we sent out ika nga subpoena or invitation to Mr. Guteza? Because I'm concerned po. I mean, he made a lot of revelations here during the last meeting when he was here. So we want to find out at gusto ho natin siyang tanungin, where did you get all this information? Pero tila wala ho siya. Now, did we invite him?
Yes, Mr. Vice Chairman. We sent an invitation to his known address, no? Nakalagay sa kanyang driver's license sa Taguig. Pero even when the investigation was conducted by the executive judge, wala na po siya doon sa kanyang known address, last known address. So what we did in the Blue Ribbon Committee, we sought the assistance of the Honorable Marcoleta kung sakaling meron siyang contact o may sa darating na panahon magkakaroon siya ng contact ay tulungan niya tayo na malocate at para makapag-testify na muli si Technical Sergeant Gutesa. So ang sagot po ni Honorable Marcoleta, wala rin po siyang contact kay Orly Gutesa.
Isa pang katanungan dyan, Mr. Chair, at nagtatanong po yung mga kababayan ho natin, ano po ang mangyayari ngayon sa kanyang salaysay? Are we going to submit it? Dahil kung tayo po ay mag-wind down na dito po sa ating investigation, are we going to submit it to ICI, Mr. Chair?
The sinumpang salaysay remains valid as far as the Blue Ribbon Committee is concerned. Ano? Nagkaroon lang naman siya ng problema doon sa kanyang pagkanotaryo. And hindi naman po siya sumipot sa DOJ, sa Ombudsman, even sa ICI. So wala po tayong magagawa doon. But as far as the committee is concerned, pag tayo po ay nag-submit ng ating committee report, yung kanyang sinumpaan salaysay, as I mentioned earlier, remains valid. Kasi yun naman ay sinumpaan niya ng bukod, no? Dito sa harapan ng komite.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Now I direct my question to Yusek Bernardo. Yusek Bernardo, or Engineer Bernardo. Common practice po ang bentahan ng mga pondo sa lower house. Alam po natin yan. Alam po ninyo yan. Ikaw po ba ay naalok na rin ng pondo for flood control ng mga mambabatas? I know you've been talking about senators, may mga congressman, pero ikaw po ba ay nabentahan na ng pondo para sa flood control?
Mr. Chair, as far as I can recall, I cannot remember any time na bentahan po ako niyan sapagkat I think the legislators in the lower house have their own way of dealing with projects, especially to the district engineers and contractors.
So, sa district engineer po ang nagkakaroon ng transaction between the lawmaker at saka yung district engineer. Tama po ba ang pagkaintindi ko?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. As far as I know po, puro ganun po.
Alright. Walk us through, Engineer Bernardo. Pag nagbaba na po ng pondo ng budget ang isang politiko, congressman man yan, sa district, ano po ang nangyayari? Siya rin po ba, tama po ba na siya rin po ang nagdidictate. Ito ang kontratista na gusto kong panalunin mo. Because siya yung kontratista ang magbibigay ng komisyon kay congressman o sa politiko. Tama po ba yun? Can you walk us through after na ibaba yung pondo ng mababatas doon sa distrito? What is happening? And walk us through hanggang sa makuha ng politiko yung kanyang komisyon or kickback.
Mr. Chair, I'm very sorry to be off the rec ano po sa ganyang mga proseso sapagkat ang nagkakausap lang po talaga dyan ay ang mga congressmen or legislators sa lower house saka po district engineer o yung mga contractor. Hindi po ako doon sa kanilang sistema doon kung paano. Ba't naririnig ko pong ganun talaga? Yun po.
Alright, panghuling na katalungan na lang po sa inyo, Yusek Bernardo, bago po ako lumipat dito kay Engineer Alcantara. Nabanggit niyo po ang Office of the Executive Secretary na kasama din po dito sa flood control. Ewan ko bakit to sila may flood control. Ang tanong ko po, sino sa Office of the Executive Secretary ang kausap po ninyo? Can you name names?
Mr. Chair, as I've earlier na sinabi ko po, ay si Traigi Bolívar po ang kausap ko. Siya lang po nagsabi sa akin nun.
Pero hindi po siya sa Office of the Executive Secretary, Engineer Bernardo. Siya po, the last na chinek ko po ay nasa Department of Education po siya. Wala po siya sa Office of the Executive Secretary. Bakit po ninyo nabanggit na siya, yun ay para, yung kanyang hinihingi ay para sa Executive Secretary, Engineer Bernardo?
Mr. Chair, yun lamang po ang sinabi niya sa akin. Wala po akong...
Senator Tulfo, bukod kay Yusek Olaibar, pag sinabing Office of the Executive Secretary, wala ka nakakausap na naka-assign mismo doon sa Office ng Executive Secretary? Wala.
Wala po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, let me direct my question now to Engineer Alcantara. Engineer Alcantara, okay, pagbaba po ng pondo ng politiko sa inyo, ano po nangyayari? Tama po ba? Walk us through with this. Pagbaba ng pondo, sasabihin ng politiko, gusto ko sa kontraktor na ito ang mapanalunin mo. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ano ho nangyayari? Nagkaroon ho ng bidding, etc. May bidding-biddingan pa kunwari. 3, 4 ang maglalaban-laban para kunwari. Pero mananalo at mananalo yung kontraktor ng politiko. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. Ano ho na mangyayari after that? Kailan na po i-execute yung proyekto? Kailan na ang bigaya ng komisyon? Kasi may mga balita po ako nag-a-advance pa ang ilang politiko. Tama po ba yon na humihingi po ng advance ang politiko? Wala pa po yung pondo, laway pa lang ay nagbibigay na ng advance yung kontraktor.
Your Honor, pagdating po dun sa bagay, since sila po yung magkakausap na po, yung contractor and the, hindi po ako knowledgeable kung kailan o magkano yung percent na napag-uusapan po nila, Your Honor.
Pero pagbaba ng pondo, ano ho nangyayari? Pakikwento lang po sa amin hanggang sa ma-execute, kung i-execute niya yung proyekto.
Opo, pagbaba po ng pondo, pupunta na po yung mga contractor po sa office. At magko-confirm naman po na yun daw po ay ibinigay sa kanila. So makipag-usap naman po sila doon sa coordinator for the procedure of the bidding. And then ibibid po, i-implement, doon po nangyayari. Pero yung bigayan po nung obligasyon, since sa amin po ang nagpapamigay po talaga, hindi naman po kami. Pagka-congressional allocation po, Your Honor.
Tinatawagan mo ba yung politiko pag sinabi niyang ito yung contractor ko, DE Alcantara o Engineer Alcantara, ito ang panalunin mo? How would you know na yun talaga ang kontraktor ni congressman o ni senador? Sino?
Nagbibigay lang po ng listahan po doon sa binibigay ko lang po sa chief of staff ko. Ito yung designated na gusto nila. Ilan po yun.
Okay. Tama rin po ba na para kunwari mayroon ka talagang bidding, masunod lang, para hindi masilip ng COA, kailangan may sumali na 3 at 4 pa na kontraktor. Pero knowing in advance, kailangan manalo na yung kontraktor ng politiko na yon.
Yes, Sir Honor. Yung mga contractor po na designated, they're the one who will talk to the coordinator po ng mga contractors po, Your Honor.
So, yung bidding po na nagaganap ay bidding-biddingan na lang kung tawagin.
Most probably, Your Honor.
Alright. Okay. Another question po sa kay
With the permission of Senator
Go ahead.
Kiko, and
With the
just on
permission,
that point,
Senator Kiko, is
sa
recognized.
page 18 kasi nung affidavit ni Ginoong Bernardo, nakalagay dito, number 141. In compliance with his order, I forwarded the list to Sec Bonoan. He told me that Undersecretary for Planning shall facilitate and ensure the inclusion of these projects in the NEP. So sinama pa lamang sa NEP, tapos 142, Engineer Alcantara gave 10% of the value of the project. Ibig sabihin, wala pa yung proyekto sa baba. Nasa NEP pa lang, may 10% na.
Normally, ganun po, Your Honor, after the listing of the NEP,
Saan galing yung pera?
sa mga contractor po na gustong mag-take ng risk po.
Yun ang nga yung ibig kong sabihin kanina, di ba? May advance na. Kaya yung sinasabi mo na wala kang alam, hindi mo alam, sila nag-uusap, doon pa lang, tama si Senator Pangilinan, may advance na. Sama dito sa statement na binigay na affidavit ni Engineer Bernardo, may advance.
Your Honor, i-differentiate ko lang po if you may. Yung pong binabanggit po ni Senator Pangilinan, yun po yung mga special fund po, hindi po yun yung allocable ng congressman, Your Honor. Doon po sa allocable ng congressman, wala pong ganun. Yun lang pong mga special funds na coming from whether, hindi ko po alam kung whether kay Secretary, or kay Jose Cabral, or sa House man po, kung saan po. Dalawa po kasi yan, sir, isang allocable po. Yun po yung fixed allocable na naka-allocate po sa district representative. Yun po yung sinasabi ko, sir, na wala pong advance, wala po kaming knowledge. So, yung mga special release po, yung special request po sa department na bumababa rin po sa NEP, that is not part of the allocable of the district representative. Yun po yung merong ganun po, Your Honor.
All right, quickly na lang, okay, before I move to Yusek Bisnar ng DPWH. 3 beses ka nabanggit dito sa affidavit ni Engineer Bernardo. Sa line 19, line 21, line 24. Tama po ba ito? Itong sinasabi na third quarter 2024, I asked District Engineer Alcantara to prepare a list. Tapos sa line 21, 1.5 billion submitted by Engineer Alcantara. Tapos dito sa 24, Engineer Alcantara ulit, a 25% commission of about 125 million.
Your Honor, sa pagkakatanda ko po, lahat po ng nire-request po sa akin ni Boss, pinadadala ko naman po. Probably, baka po naman po magtugma doon sa listahan ko, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Let me move now, Mr. Chair, to Yusek Bisnar. Meron pong akong balita na natatanggap na merong ikang move na yung mga dokumento incriminating ranking officials, politiko, minamagic o nawawala sa mga sunog. Tama po ba? Ano na ho nangyayari sa investigasyon na ito?
Your Honor, if you're referring po dun sa nasunog sa Bureau of Research and Standards, na-confirm na po doon na wala pong project documents or bidding documents na naapektuhan. Regarding po yung status naman po ng mga documents sa iba't ibang regional and district offices po ng DPWH, ginawa po ni Secretary Vince na ang lahat para ma-secure po ang mga ito. Isa po sa naunang memo po niya pag upo po niya noong September ay digitize ang mga documents at ipa-secure sa mga regional and district officials, Your Honor.
Did you take a second look dito sa DPWH Bureau of Research and Standards building sa Nia Road? Kasi po, sir, totoo ba ang balita na natanggap po sa aking informante na yung DPWH BRS building na sinasabi nyo na wala mga records, ito po ay dating tanggapan ng ex-wife po ni Engineer Bryce Hernandez na si Engineer Mel Clarice Santo Domingo. Did you look at that angle?
Titingnan po namin,
Titingnan pa
Your
lang po
Honor.
ninyo. Hindi po-
Narinig po namin yung information na
Alright.
yung former wife po ni Engineer Hernandez ay doon po naka-assign
Okay?
bago po siya nag-submit ng resignation. Pero wala pa pong confirmation kung meron po ba siyang hawak na mga documents pertaining po sa mga flood control and other infra projects, Your
Okay,
Honor.
pakitignan lang po, ano po, Yusek Bisnar, ano po, kasi, well, actually, may mga duda ang ilang mga kababayan natin. I just read this in the newspaper also. Last question na lang po, bilisan na lang po ninyo. Ano po nangyari doon sa tampering sa Baguio City? Yung pinasok po yung opisina ninyo sa Baguio City, destruction of documents sa Baguio City District Engineering Office. Bakit daw po? Tinanong nyo na ba yung tao? Bakit sinira? Bakit sino ba yung sa dokumento na yan? Opisyal ba yung sa dokumento na yan? Mambabatas na naman ba yan? Did you ask? Ano ho nangyari? Ilang buwan na ho yan? What's your report?
Kukunin ko po yung huling report po doon. Ang nakuha po namin is PNP po ang nag-imbestiga nung alleged tampering. For the meantime po, nirelieve na po si District Engineer Sarate ng Baguio City dahil po dun sa allegation na yun, Your Honor.
Kasi nga po, may tampering. Ibig sabihin, may tinatago. Di po ba? Siguro, baka may kumausap po sa kanya. So we really need to look into that, Yusek Bisnar. Ano po, hindi po natin ipalawalang bahala. Kasi, marami pong nadadamay dito. Siyempre, marami pong gusto magpalusot at ayaw masama rito. So you really need to take a look into that, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
I would need a report from the DPWH. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
We will submit, Your Honor.